Alright, hello and welcome on back to some Minecraft musings. Oh, where's the... It still flew off somewhere. Got quite the bee farm going here. Yeah, see, I think that other one went up. Sometimes it... Oh, I feel like it gets stuck in the branches. Yeah, there's some of that one. Alright. So, anyways, my Facebook is totally infested with politics. So, I'm gonna have to start cooling it a little bit. Like, it's one thing for XApp. I expect that to be just like one dumpster fire of political debate. But my Facebook, and actually even that didn't start off like that. I started off with like STEM, trying to put my focus into teaching computer science. Also teaching cybersecurity a bit. So, also, I don't know what I think about this. I've got like a factory situation going, like apartment style housing for the beehives. And some flowers, but there's not even bees living there. In fact, let's see. Let's say I got a lot of flowers, and also I found a nice big. So if you look on the mini map, like where I'm pointed that way, up to where almost where the water is, or like halfway to the water, there's a giant cave. I think I want to build a massive base over that area of water too. Oh, nice. Ah, come on. Wait, didn't I just? Oh, there it is. Like I swear I just saw a couple of honeycombs. And it's crazy because now I can continue to make honeycomb or beehives if I need wood. Actually, a lot of wood, so this won't even be like yeah 3 because it takes what 6? Yeah. Wait. Huh. Anyways, a lot of campfires. There we go. We'll do a whole line of housing. Just gonna fill this in. Do some landscaping. Yeah, and the Facebook thing, like it just got bad. And actually, the worst post was about pedo priests. Like that's the one. Is like, not where I'm, exchanging memes of anti-Biden, anti-Trump nonsense. Which, I mean, that's kind of annoying in its own right, but it's not nearly as bad as like I've had 3 women come on there and tell me that. And of course, it's Women's History Month, and National Women's Day was the other day. And I just got done reading an article about she won the ACM award in 2022. I think like the main one or like I forget what it was called, but and I was reading about it and she was talking about proving calculations like blockchain calculations in an efficient way. And it was so funny because like I mean it was great, it was brilliant. I mean I didn't understand hardly any of it, but it was funny because it still felt like people were just mashing words together like Rick and Morty, how they do like the flux capacitor. Morty tries to guess at something, and Rick's like, "You can't just put sci-fi words together and make them mean something, Morty." And then he goes, he talks about, "Oh, the microverse battery, or there's something wrong with the microverse battery." Ah. So, anyways, um, hmm. Yeah, I got a lot of flowers. I'm trying to. Oh, the bees don't come out at night. That's right. No, so were there any more? Oh gosh, yeah. For some reason, nice. There's just a hole straight through. I don't know why there. I mean, I'm sure I broke it, but like, it's not the ghost in the machine or the game, the game developer messing with people. Although I totally would. Oh, I need to finish putting them around these trees. I think these trees are starting to like pop up. I still have a bunch of saplings like, everywhere. So, did that go all the way up? Oh, and also, Okay. Go up here. There it is. Oh, I could have run to the front without even doing that, but that's okay. Now I have a stairway to get up there. So, actually, oh, I need more dirt. So, yeah, I'm really liking this place. Like it's coming along. Like I got a lot of trying to think. Maybe I should take some of the wax. What is this? Honeycomb. Back for the copper. Also, I noticed this. I'm pretty sure this is new. Like, if you look at the campfire, it didn't used to have like a cooking part. I mean, if you look at the other side, it's just that. I'm pretty sure. I feel like I would have noticed that. Anyways, I was also trying to think of how to be safe, because I guess we can't touch the fire unless. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Oh wait. Ah, ah, okay, okay, okay. The bees got hurt. I saw one bee get hurt. I was all sad. I was like, oh no, don't burn. So then I was thinking maybe I should put the campfire like one block lower, and then I have some that are just like right beneath it. I don't know. So anyways, look at them. All the happy little bees. Ah, just the big ones, not the little ones, because it's such a waste of flowers. Like, I mean, yeah, feeding them and letting them grow, but it could take like 10, 15 for just one to reach maturity. Yeah, look at them though. They got plenty of flowers. They live a good life. Okay, I think there was one that already. And you just had a child. All right. Okay. So I don't know. I ended up calling the one lady a really bad name. I mean, because they were, and then this other chick chimes in, starts dropping the R bomb. Like, man, it's people like you. Like, because it doesn't matter, you know. Call me, you know, mentally handicapped or challenged or whatever. Like, that's one thing. But you know, if you're just casually throwing it around, then you know, more than likely you're casually throwing it around in public. Meaning, some kid's gonna hear that and get all down on themselves because you're all just like willy-nilly, just like writing people off as less than human. Like, meh, I don't know. I mean, South Park does make fun of the handicapped, but also like advocates for them at the same time in a strange way. Like, um, the parents say that the reason they had a handicapped son is because they made fun of him in college and high school, and now this is like the Lord's way of paying them back or something. I'm pretty sure that's what it was, but anyways. Either way, I mean, same as like calling her the name, because basically it was a post about how to prevent very bad crimes from happening to kids, and like, and three women came out and just like jumped all over me for it, like, oh, how dare you? I mean, yeah, it's like can't even fathom that there could be a solution as easy as that. Anyways. I mean, it's not like something I'd be proud of. Like, hey, I mean, I run the Dolomite campaign, legal cannabis and legal adult work. Like, you know, there you go. Snoop Dogg would be proud. He'd probably be a little. I don't know. I get this a lot. Like, you know, oh, he's pretty smart, but he makes me nervous, or he's kind of scares me. Like, he's kind of scary. And like, what is that, Dylan in that one meme? Like, or what scares you the most? Oh, I didn't even have a campfire in that one. I mean, I don't know. I feel like all of them at this point are starting to fly all over the place. It's just strange. It flies like straight up onto the branches. And then, yeah, I've seen it a few times where it goes to like the next tree over, like, or the neighbor tree. I don't know. Oh, ooh. Whoa, that cut too. Alright. I need some adult bees. Where are they at? Ollie ollie oxen free. Yeah, now all these trees are popping up. That's okay. I'll chop them down here soon because you need logs to make the campfires, and if we're going to continue that line, we need more campfires. more and more. No, I'm not gonna do that. Let's get some dirt though. So where would a good place be? I don't know. Yeah, like I was saying, back to the wonderfully smart woman that won the award for ACM, which is an Association for Computing Machinery. For those of you that are just joining us, but yeah, I was the treasurer my senior year for the CSU chapter of that. It was a really cool club. We just introduced, well, we basically had a pizza party every Wednesday, and then we had someone from one of the local companies or, you know, businesses come and talk about what they look for in a new hire as far as a tech person goes, like programmer or IT or whatever they're needing, data person. Um, yeah, because there's tons. Like, it's not just programmers. Like, I mean, although that's what most people want to be, myself included. I was all excited to be a software developer until I found out I was just going to be doing IT. And even then, like, I feel it was a little bittersweet. Like, I kind of wish I would have like been able to stick it out a little longer there and actually like do because you had to look through all of their knowledge documents and all of their history and basically help people on the spot. Like people would call in and you're like, all right, cool, let me look you up here. And help. I mean, we serviced a lot of different companies, and it was all like liquor warehouses or beer warehouses. So then I kind of felt grungy. My dad being quite the drinker and dying from it. Um, yeah, I was like, kind of felt evil, you know. Like I wasn't making the next Facebook to connect people or the next medical software to save lives. Like I was helping people get drunk and make poor choices. Like, that kind of stung. And I wasn't even doing it too. That was the worst part. It was like I was just sitting there trying to I was trying to read the code in the spare time that I did have. Then calls would come in, and it was like, oh god, and I don't want to talk to all these people. And then, and yeah. But had I gotten through it and actually figured out how to fix a lot of those issues or what was going on, like an IT technician that I am now, I probably would have had a lot of fun with it. I mean, because the people were great to work with, like all the people I met, and I did travel a bit, go to like beer warehouses around the country, and like not a lot, but like a couple places, and it was cool. I mean, I was drinking way too much, but playing pool is part of my job to schmooze over some people visiting from out of town. Not even schmoozing, just like going and hanging out, like hosting. So a little bit of schmoozing, but I mean, they were already clients, so it didn't really matter. But you still had to put on a good front, and then acting a little too ghetto in front of people, and then, oh, it was funny. Like one guy, like he was an older guy, but he knew right away. He was like, "Oh, you're a little bit shicey there, are you?" Oh, jeez. Okay, so how do I want to go about this? So that's the dangerous thing about the new caves and cliffs and all that. Like, um, it's potentially deadly, but I do love that I don't have a drift. Although I'm gonna be careful because there's gonna come a day, or there might. I don't know. Watch this controller. I'll just have zero problems because I'm not flashing its power like every 5 seconds. Like, yeah, just stick the pin in it. Like, you know. Now I feel really dumb for doing that with the other two controllers. Jeez. I mean, because one came with this thing, and then I bought an extra one because first I bought two because I was like, hey, I got two kiddos. They'll play with each other with the PlayStation. Like, they'll be able to, like my childhood was James Bond as soon as that came out, the 64, and I don't even remember when that was. I want to say that was middle school, if not. Now I gotta know because my life story revolves around these gaming systems. All right. It's like how we looked up. So, and that was on the lost episode. I looked up the population of Buena Vista, which was about 2,000 to 3,000. Oh, and funny, I got 22 likes and no dislikes. On the short I clipped or I remixed about um, growing up in Buena Vista was like kind of like growing up an inmate. Not really, I mean, because you're out in public and you're able to walk around, but it was basically like, and that's very taboo, saying an open air prison with Gaza the way it is, because Gaza is way worse. I'm definitely not comparing Buena Vista to Gaza, but it is kind of still like an open air prison in the sense that you can't go anywhere because the nearest city is 2 hours away. the nearest town is 30 minutes away and 30 miles away, like, and you're going about 50 to 55 the whole way. So it's probably only like 20, 25 miles, but it takes a half hour to 40 minutes just because you're putzing along. And yeah, so same with like going to Denver from Fort Collins. If you go through Loveland and that whole way, it takes forever because there's so many stoplights and you're going slow. Whereas if you go out to the interstate to I-25 and then just shoot down at 80, no, 80. Don't go faster than that up here. You can do that down Pueblo, and even then, be careful. Same with Wyoming. I've seen a lot of people get pulled over. I mean, I haven't even been up there that much, and I've seen a lot of people get pulled over, so that's a bad ratio. Um, but yeah. Oh no, the bees, the rain. I don't know if the rain affects them, but I wouldn't be surprised. Just when I think I've got this game figured out, there's more mechanics, and in every update, there's a potential for more newer mechanics to kind of come into play. But I don't know. I do like a little more flat of a terrain because it's kind of, I mean, bumpy okay, but like divots, those are kind of more annoying. All right, anyways, what's my goal here? What am I trying to do? Ranting about politics and religion. So, not even religion. Well, actually, kind of religion because I was saying that we need to legalize adult work so the priests won't be compelled or even tempted to do something like that. Because as is, a lot of priests are forbidden to go, have any romance or love or even fun. Like, it's very looked down upon. Like, you have to be the shining example of living in the form of whatever, like, the model Christian or whatever. And it's like, no, it's an unrealistic goal. Like, people are people, and that's like one of the biggest things that the Bible tries to drive home. It's like, people sin, people make mistakes. I mean, you can't get down on yourself like that. You can just try not to do stuff and learn from it. Especially like, I mean, if you continue to like wrong people, I mean, then you kind of deserving of some ill fate or some karma. Like, I'm definitely a big believer of karma. I mean, just as the balance. Like, for every high there's a low, and for every mountain there's erosion down. Yeah, erosion. We'll just leave it at that. But anyways, yeah. I didn't look up that thing. I got distracted with Buena Vista because I didn't want to forget to talk about that. But anyways, we're looking up, what was it? GoldenEye. 1995 film, 97 video game. Okay. Wait, no way. Huh, so I guess it had been out for a couple of years. I was gonna say, there's no way that I got the 64, because in third grade I lived in Nevada. And that would be 97. And so, well, I guess that makes sense, because when I came back I had a, well, no. I'm trying to remember when I had the Nintendo in my room, because I mean, for a while there was in the living room. Then eventually, I remember when I was working, so that had to have been high school, I was earning a paycheck. I actually bought a TV for like $184 or 179 or something, like less than 200 bucks. And it was kind of like a box TV, but they were trying to make them smaller and more lightweight, so it was like really pinched back into it, it was really weird. Like, if you see this square up here and then down here, it'd be like the size of just from this line to this line, or actually maybe more, this line to this line. Well, yeah, if you look at it, just pretend like this isn't there and this isn't there. So it's just from this line to this line, but yet comes up to there. And same thing there, like it pinched way back into a small square. And the main reason I got it was because the plugs were in the front. So the three colored plugs, you got the red, the yellow, and the white one. And and then you had to plug it in the corresponding plug. And then a lot of TVs started getting fancier, and they had like green, and it's like, what does green go to? We don't have green. And then you knew you messed up, because then you're like, okay, now I need to use the completely different set of plugins or holes. So yeah, it's just ridiculous. Huh. Sorry, that just looked weird having pumpkin stalks next to non-pumpkin stuff. No. Oh, and this music is legendary. This is not a tribute, but these are these are just tribute philosophies to the best tributes in the world. There you go. I was thinking that the other day, and I meant to write it down because I'm a big fan of Jack Black and Kyle Gaff. I forget his name. I know what he looks like. I know his face. Like Kyle, Jack Black's a little more famous because he's been in other like movies and branched out into other comedies. Although as I say that, I want to say like Kyle did too, but it's Tenacious D is their music group. Play some awesome music, and then they have the Pick of Destiny, which is like just one giant hallucination, and then like a laser obstacle, which gets kind of sus, and it's funny, but anyways. And then they battled the devil, and so then it's like some devil went down to Georgia, fiddle contest type vibe, and they played the greatest song in the world, but no, it wasn't the greatest song in the world, it was only a tribute, and it's an awesome song, so, yeah. Sorry, we went way off the rails. Now, School of Rock I didn't like as much because it was like, I mean, Jack Black did great, like he did, but it was just like, little kids like that. Like I could see if it was more. I mean, there is more of the wonder and like the innocent youth and all that. But like when I think like rock and grunge, I think of like in a dive bar trying to like uh, just get drunk and party or whatever, and then like I don't know, but that's kind of the darker side of music, and so that really should be, I guess, have an alternative like that. But I don't know, great kids movies. I mean, as far as like, and actually no, as I say that, there were a couple of really funny parts when he was like messing with the teachers, because it was like a Catholic nun school or like whatever, like they had uniforms or private school or, anyways, politics. Uh, so Putin got elected. I don't know how to feel about that. And it wasn't even close. It was like 80%, I think. So I'd like to see what their voting system's like and what like talk is and controversy around that. Or, I mean, because how funny would it be to like prove that their elections are stolen? Or maybe not too, because maybe the people are just so used to Putin and they're so worried about what some new person would come in, especially if they see like how messed up America is. Because I mean, if you just pay attention to the communications that are broadcast of America, we look really messed up. I mean, but then when you walk around here and you talk to people and you realize like, oh yeah, nobody really cares or does all that. Like, that's just the extremes. Yeah, we still like to meme against each other and upset each other. Poke fun until it's no longer fun. Hmm. Yeah, that's funny. Sorry, I'm just thinking back to that Facebook post because it's so angry. Like, at the same time, I'm, tossing out this screenshot I've got of where I'm arguing with people that women should even vote. And I'm not saying that, like, they should bow down and make me their king or some ridiculous nonsense like that. Like, I'm not the greatest thing to happen to women. But it's just ironic that, like, I'm over here, doing that. And then I say one thing, like, hey, let's do this. Anyways, whatever. You don't want to fix the problems and stop whining about the problems. But if you're going to whine about the problems, then at least accept potential solutions and hear them out and consider them. And then you can, give your feedback. But all three of these women just shut down right away. The one, like I said, she liked my response, like, oh, so what, bodily autonomy stops at abortion and the vaccine, or the vaccine and abortion. You got to start with the vaccine when you're talking about someone that you think might be more of a right winger, because they get all fired up about that. Like, oh yeah, the vaccine is evil and all that. And like, even though Trump got it, he told his people to get it, and people still, yeah. And I asked my buddy about that. I was like, so what do you think about old Trumpy Dumpy getting the vax? And he's like, well, yeah, no, that's fine for him, but he didn't force it on anyone. I mean, it was his thing, and he did. He did the vaccine. Like he had it pushed through in Operation Warp Speed, I think it was. And so, I mean, he did handle the pandemic. Like, not the best, but you know, like I don't know. How do you prove that? Like, how do you prove that the response would have been better if the team wouldn't have been sacked right before it? It kind of makes me think of Monty Python and the Holy, or no, is that the Holy Grail? Yeah, it is the Holy Grail. Okay, so in the opening credits, they talk about that. They're like, the people in charge of the credits have been sacked. And then they try the film again, and then it fails. They're like, the people in charge. Hey, little bee, are you stuck? Because now it's like, all right, it's nighttime. Worry that that bee just got glitched right there. And you know what? Maybe that's a thing. Can't have the flowers too close. I feel like that is a thing. I want to say I heard Waddles say something like that. Like put it a space out. I mean, not that they have, they don't have enough flowers. So, anywho, yeah. And then it's like the people that were in charge of sacking the people have been sacked. Then the people in charge of sacking the people that sacked the people have been sacked. And it just like, and that's British for fired. Which is funny because like you hear British things like, sacked or bloody or like I don't know, like Harry Potter basically like chip chip cheerio and sorry this got like grossly offensive. Like, I mean, hey, we won the Revolutionary War, so yeah, I'm just kidding. Like that's about as silly as me saying that I'm responsible for slavery or native genocide. Now, and like nobody's saying that we're responsible for it. It's just like foregoing being aware of it and learning it and shying away from it and then allowing similar things to repeat, that's being disrespectful to what happened and to what our ancestors did. I don't know, my family was over here in Colorado during a lot of that. Like we were here for over 100 years, um, and at war too. Like everybody, all the men, my dad, my grandpa, my other grandpa, I think, and then my co-parents' dad, grandpa. Like, so yeah, a lot of military, a lot of law enforcement, a lot of corrections, and a lot of knuckleheads sitting in jail. uh, it's like Marky Mark's family. Whenever you see a movie with Marky Mark on it, like Mark Wahlberg, by the way, like all of his Irish gangster stuff. Uh, and now you got what? White Carl from Shameless. There you go. I used to watch Shameless a lot, like the original first season, and then uh, I stopped following along with it. It started getting weird. Like one of them had a kid, and then there was a lot of those problems. And I mean, I'm sure it was great, but it was just like it got so grungy. And same with Dexter. Like once I stopped drinking, that sort of stuff just wasn't as appealing. Like it wasn't as relatable. I was just like, I don't do that anymore. So like, not saying that I did anything on Shameless. Quite the opposite. Like that was always, almost everything on there was like too far for what I did. Although I did like, what was his name, Big Kevin. This way he always had like this boyish look on his face of excitement and wonder, but like you also know that he probably beat the snot out of some people in his lifetime and like, or at least menaced and like, you know, not saying that that's cool and that's enjoyable, but like sticking up for things because he was very like, defender of women, like, or or not that women need defending. I don't know. See, that's like chauvinistic in itself, but being ready to defend. That means a lot more than that. Like, even though I'm arguing with three right now, only like one, really, or one and a half. Because the other one hasn't responded. She hasn't looked at stuff yet. I'm waiting for them to either block or report me. But, like, I don't know. Then I'm sharing memes with some other people. Same group. It's this group that's usually heavy MAGA. But there's been a lot more vocalization of the more democratic people or the liberal people being like, hey, nah, this is nonsense. Or like, imagine this. And like even memeing, like, or starting the conversation with like an anti-Trump thing. Mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. You be gone. Okay. That was good. That was smooth. That one's still down there. Wait. Yep. It's a llama pinata. Sorry, I just wanted to see. Oh, why am I saying sorry? I need to go back and make sure dude doesn't mess up my crops. Oh, there's the alarm, but let's go ahead and see what Mr. Trader has. Alright. Yep. 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 Alright, that's good. Okay, so anyways, that's my musings for now. I gotta go take care of a couple of things, but I still got a couple hours. I mean, I went and ran some or did some errands. Still got home a little late, but I mean, had to stop by the store and restock. So and it's the kiddos' spring break. So after tomorrow, it's just gonna be the kiddos playing games. So I'm gonna be on hiatus. So I'll try to make a couple more episodes tonight, and maybe get some work. Well, actually, I plan on working on the side projects when I have the kiddos. So like, they'll be playing their games, and I'll be cooking and stuff. Daddy's diner and all that. It's always open. It never stops. Like I just keep making food and stuff. But anyways, which is good. They're growing kids. But no, so they'll be doing that, and eventually, I'm thinking in like a couple of years, they're gonna have their own YouTube stuff. And they're just adorable, like little psycho murderers. I'm just kidding. Although my daughter did win a Fall Guys crown the other day, first try. I'm so proud of that. So, and she's great at Dark Souls Remastered. They don't play that as much. Fortnite, they're both really good. Although she like goes and like tries to hang out with the animals more and like drive cars and stuff, which is cute and that's cool. And like my son's more into like the shoot 'em up, blam, testosterone type thing. Even though I'm sure they're still off far from that. But anyways, ta-ta for now, without divulging too much information. Ta-ta for now. I will see you in the next one.